Foreclosures and power of sales are up in Canada, especially in Ontario and BC. But is this a sign the housing market is crashing? Or is it just a return to normal? Let's break it down. Hi, my name is Deloshan, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Watch. Now, you might have heard the terms power of sale in Ontario or court ordered sale in BC. Different names in different provinces, but it's the same thing. A homeowner stops paying their mortgage, and the lender takes over the property, kicks them out, and sells it. That's a simple version. There's a lot more to the legal process, but that's just the gist of it. Why are they up now? Well, first, let's keep things in perspective. Between 2020 and 2022, during COVID, the number of foreclosures and power of sales was the lowest in history. Prices were skyrocketing, so if anyone couldn't pay their mortgage, they'd simply sell. And usually, they make a profit. On top of that, during COVID, banks legally couldn't evict anyone for months. And fast forward to 2025. Home sales are falling in some areas, especially in Ontario. Unemployment is up in parts of Canada, the highest in a decade for some regions. And if you lose your income, it's tough to make a mortgage payment. So yes, defaults are up, but we're still not even back to normal historical levels. It just feels like a big jump because we came from rock bottom lows. So how does the process work? So if you miss a mortgage payment for 90 days, the bank is required to take action. This could mean filing a claim with CMHC or hiring a lawyer to start the legal eviction process. Now, this is not automatic. It's a court process. They need a court order to sell your home. And the fastest timeline from missed payment to sale is approximately 6 months, but it can take up to a year or more, especially if the homeowner fights in court. Now, for most people, losing their home is a tragedy, financially and emotionally. So yes, sometimes it's just a speculator or a flipper who miscalculated, but most of the time, it's a family home. And interestingly, in Ontario, about half of these sales are from private or alternative lenders, half from banks. Private lenders often work with higher risk borrowers to begin with. Now, you might be wondering which provinces see the most foreclosures. So the highest per capita foreclosure rate for banks is Saskatchewan. But it's a small province, so the total numbers are actually low. But the biggest dollar losses happens in Ontario and British Columbia, simply because home prices are just much more higher. And you may ask, are they a good deal for buyers? Well, sometimes you'll see 30 to 40% below the original purchase price. It sounds amazing, right? But here's the catch. If you do choose to purchase a property under a power of sale or foreclosure, no home inspection is allowed. You get a quick look and that's it. And you buy it as is, where is, and you take the property in whatever condition it comes in. And if something is broken, damaged, or hidden, you're paying for it out of your own pocket. And you can't sue the previous owner or the bank. And in some cases, the former owners may have damaged the home deliberately before leaving. So yes, the title is clean once it's sold, and evicted owners almost never come back. But the risk is what you can't see before buying. Now, how does this impact the neighborhood? When a power of sale sells for way below the market value, it creates a low comparable sale in the area. So that can drag down the appraised value of other homes nearby, even if they're in great shape. So what's the bottom line here? Power of sales and foreclosures are up, but we're not at dangerous levels. They're rising from historically low numbers, not from a healthy market baseline. And for buyers, they can be an opportunity, but also a risk. And for neighborhoods, they can pull prices down. So if you want more clear breakdowns of what's happening in Canada's housing market without the hype, Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next update. And I'll see you in the next video.